Hello everyone, my name is Unicorn, and today I'm going to be providing a guide on how to do the weekly challenges for the Genius Invocation TCG event. Today I'm going to be showing you how to beat the guest LAN. So if we go to LAN here, let's look at her stats. So, LAN's opposing lineup are these four Hilichurl characters. The first Hilichurl has a normal attack with an ice arrow that deals 1 cryo damage, then a elemental burst that deals 4 cryo damage. It also has a passive skill where it switches to the next character after it completes a charged attack. The second character is the Hilichurl Shooter. It deals 1 physical damage, its burst deals 5 physical damage, and its passive is also that it switches to the next character after using any attack. Then there's the Electro Hilichurl Shooter, which deals electro damage for its normal, 4 electro damage for its burst, and its passive is once again to switch to the next character after it attacks. And last but not least, a second Cryo Hilichurl Shooter that has the same normal, burst, and passive as the first. So, in order to complete the challenge against LAN, we need to defeat all 4 of these Hilichurls. I guess what I will try to do is I'll try to use the starter characters, just because I know that everyone might not have all of the other characters that you get later. You need to level up in order to get the special invitation cards, and then you have to compete with the characters that you invite and beat them in order to obtain them. So I think the starter characters that you get are not Bennett, Diluc, Kaya, and Sucrose. I think that even with these starter characters, you can still complete the weekly challenge and you can still beat this team. I'm going to add Kaya, Diluc, and Sucrose. So basically, for Kaya's special card, his card is for his Frost Gnaw. And if you look at his Frost Gnaw, it deals 3 cryo damage, and it's his elemental skill. Because it's his elemental skill, he'll probably use it a lot. So I can probably use this card more than once. So it would actually be good to keep 2 of these. Then for Duke, the same thing. Searing Onslaught is his elemental skill. So because his elemental skill won't move mental skills more than you use their burst. However, for Sucrose, the card that she has is for Forbidden Creation Isomer 75 Type 2. And because it's her elemental burst, I kind of feel like you don't use elemental bursts as much as skills or normals. And because of this, the amount of times that I might need this within a match might not be as much. So I'm only going to use one so that I can make more room for other buffing cards. Then I'm going to equip character weapons. So for every single match you do, regardless of what type of weapon cards you have, always equip weapon cards, because weapon cards will buff a character no matter what kind of buff it is. So for Sucrose, if you just have the normal weapon, that's perfectly fine and it works. I have leveled up and I have gotten the sacrificial fragments. And the good thing about sac fragments is once you get it, then it also allows you to create 1 elemental die of the same elemental type of this character after you use an elemental skill, so it helps every single time you use Sucrose's skill to build their stamina. But for the sake of actually showing you guys that you can defeat this weekly boss, even if you haven't really leveled your characters or gotten any of the higher level things, I'm just going to use the magic guide. So then I'm going to add the Raven Bow. We don't have any bow character weapons, but we do have a claymore weapon. And we also have a sword weapon. So these are the 3 like basic starter weapons. Wait, okay. And I would recommend that whenever you fight any character or any like whenever you're in any fight, that for each character that you're equipping, you have a corresponding weapon card that you can attach to them that will buff their damage. Then I will equip, so I'm pretty sure you have to purchase these, but if you can, purchase them before you start any weekly challenges. As soon as you get the ability to purchase cards, purchase the weapon cards and purchase the artifact cards. Because we have Kaya and Kaya is a cryo character, I'm going to equip the Broken Rhymes Echo card, which is a cryo artifact card. Then Diluc is Pyro, so I'm going to equip the Witch's Scorching Hat card. And lastly, Sucrose is Animo, so I'm going to attach the Viridescent Venor's Diadem card. Then, for the buffer card, first I'm going to equip this card. This card says, during roll phases you get in the game. As soon as you get this, immediately play it because it means that every single time you roll your dice, you have a higher chance to get the dice that you need. And then I'm going to equip the Liyue Harbor Wharf card that just allows you to draw 2 cards if you use it. And it works after every end phase, so you get 2 usages of this, so you get to draw 4 cards total after the end of 2 turns. Then I'm going to equip one of these, which is the J Chamber. 2 of the starting elemental dice you roll are always guaranteed to match the elemental type of your active character. This means that if you use this as a passive, every single time you have your active character on, as soon as you do your roll, the next turn that you make after you finish your rolling, you'll probably almost always be able to attack because you'll always have enough dice of that element no matter what. So this card is like really awesome. Honestly, this is like, this card and this card are like 2 of the best cards in the game, 2 of the most essential cards that you should always equip. This one allows you to spend 1 less elemental die when you switch characters once per round. I'll equip this. This card allows you to heal the most injured character on standby for 2 HP twice. That's also pretty useful. This character heals your active character for 2 HP twice. That's also useful, but if you have one equipped, I would say don't equip the other, but because they both only have usages of 2, it's useful to have both of them in your hand so that once one wears off, you can equip the other. This card is really awesome, and I wish I had a second one because honestly it's worth equipping too. This says that when the action phase begins, create an extra Omni Element dice times 2. The Omni Element dice is dice of any element that you want it to be, so it's just 2 free dice of any kind, and it's on top of the dice that you already get, so it's really useful because it adds to your attack power. This means that when you perform a switch character, it's considered a fast action instead of a combat action, so it doesn't automatically end your turn. That's also really helpful. Timmy's pretty good. I'll keep Timmy on for now, but if I find something more useful, I might equip something else later. Lieben is really good as well, but I'll equip him. This one is really good. One of your characters without maximum energy gains 1 energy at the end of like the turn, and the active character is prioritized, and it has 2 usages. This is like really good. This is a great support card. And the dice that it needs, it does need like 2 dice, but it doesn't need to have 2 dice of the same type, so it's really helpful. Then this one is after you switch characters. If the character does not have energy, they will gain 1 energy once per round. This is good. But actually, you know what? I'm gonna equip this, and I'm gonna remove Timmy. Because I feel like this gives more dice in the long term than Timmy does. Because it takes dice to get energy. So I feel like it's more helpful to have that. This converts any elemental dice to Omni Element times 2, which is really helpful because when you don't have the element you need, that can save you. This allows you to draw 2 cards, also helpful. This says next time you perform a switch character, it'll be a fast action instead of a combat action, which is really nice. This says when you use an elemental skill, it automatically switches your active character, which is really helpful. This just straight up gives your active character 1 energy, which can save you in certain situations. And then for food. So I have 3 spots left for food, which is kind of nice. Perfect. The first food that I'm going to add is the Sweet Madam, because this is like one of the best food cards ever. It doesn't require any dice, and it just heals 1 HP straight up. I'm just going to add that because it's so good. The next card that I would add would either be Mondstadt's Hash Brown or Mushroom Pizza. Mushroom Pizza heals over 3 rounds, so it gives 3 HP in total, which is more than the Mondstadt Hash Brown, but the Mondstadt Hash Brown gives 2 HP all at once. I think I'm going to equip Mushroom Pizza, just because Hilly Turtles don't do a lot of damage. And the next... The last one that I'm going to equip will probably be maybe this one, the Lotus Flower Crisp, because the Lotus Flower Crisp says, during this round, the target character takes -3 damage the next time. Which, if you like switch to a character and you know that they're going to take a heavy attack, this can be the thing that saves them from dying. And honestly, it's kind of useful. Like, it has saved me multiple times, so I'm going to equip that. If you want to vary the food, if you want to vary like any of the things, that's fine. But the one thing that I will say is keep in mind there are like different kinds of cards, and you need to like allot space for all of the different types of cards. So the first type of cards is like the cards that relate to your character's elemental skills. So you get these when you when you compete with your characters, and then if you win by passing like the requirements, then you get their cards available as well alongside the characters, and you can compete with the characters to get these cards. And you need to, like, these really, really help, because like for example with Diluc's card, it allows you to equip Searing Onslaught, and then it says if you want to use it again, you spend 1 less Pyro die. This is helpful because Diluc needs to use three attacks in order to get his burst up, so this helps him get his burst up faster if you're able to use his elemental skill more often. Then Kaya's card says that he heals himself for 2 HP once per round when he uses his skill. This is helpful because that way you don't have to heal him, right? Sucrose, her burst then will end up dealing +1 damage of the elemental type that it swirls. So that's really helpful because it buffs her burst. So keeping those cards in mind, like, it just always allot space for the character cards. Then you should always allot space for weapons, right? You should have, I would say, a minimum of 3, right? Just because you want 1 for each character that you're using and each weapon that they use. And same thing with artifact cards. You need artifact cards. Artifact cards are like the best things ever. They don't cost that much, and once you equip them forever for the entire match, whenever you use, for example, a skill or equip a talent, you spend 1 less cryo die. So when it says talent, these are the talent cards. These character cards are the talent cards. So when you use these, you're also getting the discount. So always equip artifact cards once you get them, especially like if you're using that character or if it's your active character, then it becomes even more important. Then after that, you have your support cards. So support cards are cards that will be on the left of your screen, and they'll be cards like this where you equip it and it stays on the right, and it allows you to draw 2 cards at every end phase. So before the next turn starts, you draw 2 cards. And it stays because then it'll do it 1 more time before it disappears. So it has a duration and it lasts, and it continues to help you and buff you throughout the entire game. And then after that, you have like these other cards, for example, that are like event cards. These kinds of cards, where there's like the Rosaria card, there's the Ito card, there's the Noel card. These cards are event cards, and these cards help you, but you can only use them once. So they don't end up staying in the right side of your screen, or sorry, the left side of your screen while you're playing, because you use them once and then they disappear. So they're like one-time buffs. And lastly, food. If you have a healer, food can be negated, but if you look at, my character selection, I'm using Diluc, Kaya, and Sucrose. So in this situation, I do need food because I don't have any way of healing myself besides Kaya, who can heal himself of 2 HP, but my Diluc and my Sucrose won't be able to heal themselves. So if they end up in a position where they have low HP and they might die, I'll be able to save them using food. If you're not running a healer, you should always be running food. And if you are running a healer, then maybe you can choose not to run healing food, but other food like attack boosting food, this buffs your elemental burst damage by +3, or defense food can help you. So let's select this deck and begin. So, the first cards that we got are Kaya's card. Then we got this card that allows us to draw 2 cards. Then we got 2 of the starting elemental dice we roll. We got the Jade Chamber card, which is like one of the best cards in the game to get, especially early game. And we got a support card that also says heal your active character for 2 HP. And a Catherine card. So we got 4 support cards. Honestly, not bad. Not bad. So I guess because we have Kaya's card, I'll set the active character as Kaya. Looking at the cards we have, I feel like Kaya's a good choice. Let's hope that we get Cryo. Okay. Unlucky. Cryo. Okay, so we've got 2 Cryo cards, and 3 Pyro and 1 Animo. Or sorry, 1 Cryo, which is unfortunate. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put on my support cards. So I'm gonna place this card. I might as well place this card. And then, unfortunately, even though we have the Kaya card, and I did set my active character as Kaya, I think I'm gonna switch to Diluc.
Let's finish this swiftly.
We took 1 damage. However, now it is my turn, and I have 3 Pyro dice. So I'm just gonna attack this guy, and because the normal Hilly Churl has 3 HP, Diluc's normal attack literally just kills it, which is really nice. So, boom. Bye-bye. So 1 is down, and we have 3 left. Which is not bad. That's actually a pretty good start. Now I'm gonna end my turn, because I only have 1 dice left. There's nothing I can do with that. And we got 4 cards because of our passive. So, 2 of these dice are guaranteed to be Pyro. But we got 3, which is nice. Oh wow. And we got 2 Omni dice. Okay, so Super Conduct meant that all of our characters got damaged by 1 and Diluc got damaged by 2. This heals your active character for 2 HP. I think I'm gonna use this. So my characters are taking damage, and this will mean that every turn my active character heals. So that might help. I'm just gonna go for it. Then the Kaya, I might use this. Or the Kaya artifact dice. I'm gonna use this card. That way, next round I'll switch to Kaya and I'll be guaranteed 2 cryo dice. And then I'm gonna use my elemental skill and I'm gonna kill this guy. So now, Kaya, automatically using the Shenhe card, became my active character. And I have the Liyue Harbor Wharf card, which allows me to draw 2 extra cards every turn. I have the End Phase card that heals me of 2 extra HP. And 2 of the starting dice are going to be cryo, which is really helpful. And because I equipped the artifact card on Kaya now, when I use my elemental skill card next round, I only need 3 cryo dice, which means that I can literally like, I'm gonna end my round now and Kaya's gonna get healed, but I literally only need 1 more cryo dice on top of the 2 that I'm guaranteed because of my support card in order to use Kaya's elemental skill. So, boom. I already have Kaya's elemental skill, workable, usable, whatever. So I'm not gonna use Kaya's card, and the reason being, he heals himself of 2 HP, and I don't need any heals right now. I'm only down 1 HP. Then I'm gonna equip this support card, because whenever I switch characters I gain energy, and none of my characters have maxed energy, so it works. Then I'm gonna use Kaya's skill.
Freeze!
And he kills this guy. I think what I'll do is I'll equip a weapon on Sucrose. Then Then I'll just normal attack with... Ah! Then I'll just normal attack with Kaya. Might as well. Now his burst is up, but... So this Hilichurl is going to use his burst on me. Oh, that was kind of a useless reroll. And it dealt 4 damage. He has 6 HP, so his HP is dwindled. However, this Hilichurl is dead, so...
Dodge this!
Yeah. And woohoo! We've killed the 4 Hilichurls. Honestly, they're not that hard. if you just know how to use your artifact cards, your weapon cards, and you know like what support cards are useful to you with the characters that you have, you'll be fine. When you're choosing a team, after you move on from like Kaya, Diluc, and Sucrose, just try to like think about what elemental reactions work, and what would benefit you. And yeah, good luck. Um, and I hope that you guys have fun playing Genius Invocation TCG.